Hey, everybody. It is Hershey, me, your girl, Miss Jennifer Pink. And I am coming to you guys today to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is cloth diapering. Oh, look, it's a baby. Hi, baby. So I am joined today by Miss Adell, and we're going to talk about cloth diapering for Black moms, because we are here to dispel your myths, your worries, what your grandma says about using that big old pen, like all of that, throw it away. So I'm gonna start. Well, first, thank you, Adell, for joining me.
You're welcome.
And for sharing your knowledge. I cloth diaper. This is my second go round, right? I started 6 years ago with my son, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, let's just keep it real. I did it because I was struggling as a single mom with 3 kids, and diapers. Yeah, that's an expense that I ain't really had the money for. It's just awesome. But like, people ask me all the time, how did you end up breastfeeding? Have you seen the price of formula?
Girl?
Yeah. You know what? This is free, and all I gotta do is eat, and I'm gonna do that anyways. So
boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cloth diapering kind of was the same thing for me. And I will admit, when I first saw cloth diapers, I think the first ones I saw were Bum Genius, and I was like, okay, that looks like very overwhelming, and I don't get it. What's all the snaps and this, and then people are throwing out words like all in ones and pockets, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what you people are saying. I'm just illiterate. I don't get it. So I opted for G diapers. And these are the ones that I use with my now 6-year-old, and I of course use them again, because once you learn how to use something, you go back to it, right?
Yep.
So these are G diapers.
Awesome.
I have a girl now, so it's pink. And so the reason why I chose G diapers to begin with is because, so basically and this is how it was explained to me. So this is what sold me. All I had to do was take this out and put another one in, take this out and put another one in. And so I used this one diaper all day, and we go through however many of these, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sold.
Yes.
And
it's very cost effective to do it that way.
Right. And with my son, I think I owned maybe 4 G diapers.
Yeah.
And maybe 24 inserts.
Okay.
You know, and because you do laundry every 2 to 3 days with a baby anyway. But so that was how I got into it. But then, of course, this time around, I was all like, I'm a pro now. Like, I can experiment and I can try new things.
Horizons.
Expand my horizons. So that is why I brought Miss Adell on, because she knows the real deal, y'all. So we're going to get into what is it that we, the different ways we can do this with her. So tell me, how did you get into cloth diapering?
Well, pretty much kind of the same situation. I am married, but we started out broke. We knew we were going to be broke. We just was like, you know what, we're going to make this love thing work. We're going to be broke together, boo. And so one of my best friends at the time, she got married first. She had her child first, and she was introduced to cloth diapering. I think when she was making her baby registries all over the place. Hey, kiddo. Sorry, hold on. Here's the little guy.
Hi.
That noise. Say hi with your yogurt mouth.
He's like, what?
Yeah. Anywho, so she was, I think she was making her registry, and she came across Bum Genius at Babies R Us. And it kind of piqued her interest, and she kind of reached out to some of her other friends, and they had done it. So she decided, okay, I got enough support. I'm going to do it. And then I visited her, and I saw her doing it. And I was like, I think I remember my mom saying, something about these cloth diapers. What's going on there? And, so she had Bum Genius and she had G diapers. So she started out like you did. And so I think maybe a few months later, I got pregnant and was like, okay, hey, Jess, for real, what's up with these cloth diapers? Because I saw somewhere that you could spend $5,000 on disposables in a year or two, I ain't trying to do that. So that was basically my Kickstarter, you know, okay, one friend is doing it, so it can't be so bad, you know. Clearly I can do it if she's doing it. And so that kind of started me off. And then she introduced me to a local cloth diaper store, like a actual mom owned. And I walked in, as soon as I stepped foot, I fell in love, because it was all sorts of brands of cloth diapers. You could touch them. It wasn't just Bum Genius, because that's all Babies R Us had, you know.
Of course.
It was a whole bunch of other different brands you could kind of touch and feel and see. I was introduced to bamboo and hemp, and, you know, all of that good stuff. And to just have a locally owned, mom owned type thing, that solidified it for me. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can save money, but I can also support a mom or 7 moms doing this thing too. So that's what sold it for me.
Okay. That makes, you know what? And now that I think back to it, if I had been to a store where I could probably touch some of the other ones,
yep,
I probably would have ventured out a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just that you're looking at it online and you're like, what do you do with that? Like,
it's so important to, like, I mean, I'm not bashing, well, I am bashing the big boxes. I don't like big box stores, because most of the time the employees have no clue what's there anyway. They're just working there. They're going to scan the barcode and be on your way. They're not going to teach you cloth diapering, right? But if you go to a local store, if you're blessed enough to have a local store around you, they know everything about that product in and out. They can teach you everything you need to know, and you walk out of there completely confident.
Right.
And like, that is life-changing, you know. Not only will you know which brands, you know, you might want, but you'll know how to take care of them, and, you know, all of that stuff. So yeah, I mean, supporting local, it just makes perfect sense to me in that regard.
And when you say take care of them, so I just put it out there. I met Adell. We're in a group on Facebook called, is it Black Moms Do Cloth Diaper?
It's Black Moms That Cloth Diaper.
Oh, That Cloth Diaper. Okay, so we're in this group on Facebook, and this group has been a wealth of information, y'all, because like I said, I did it the first time, and I swear my routine was take it off, rinse, and we rinsed it out, and we only did that because my mom was like, yeah, you need to rinse that. Like, you know, like she just was like, rinse that after he, you know.
She's letting that sit.
Right? She's like, you can't just put it in the bag, like rinse it. So we would rinse them and then wash whenever, you know, like every day we wash every 2 to 3 days, I would say.
Yeah.
With him. And so now I have my daughter, and I'm blessed to have a husband, and, you know, husbands are amazing people. But sometimes they don't listen. Sometimes. So my husband was like, he does not rinse the diapers under any circumstance. He doesn't care what's on it. He just throws it, and I learned this word, y'all, a wet bag. In the wet bag, yeah. He just throws it in the wet bag, and then we wash the diapers. And sure enough, we started to get that ammonia smell. And I was like, oh my God, what did you do to my diapers? Like, I've never seen this. You ruined them. And this group taught me about stripping diapers, which I didn't know anything about. I will say I messed up the first time, and I bleached my covers. And I have a couple of covers that now have spots, but oh well, we'll survive.
They still work.
They work just the same. But just getting the knowledge and the information, because I can see how it could be hard if you're trying to try something new you've never done before, and then you're like, wait, what just happened? They made it sound so easy, and now I'm stuck with this smell. But before we get into the care of them, I want you to just briefly touch on the different types, because there's so many. And I know you have my handout. I do. So she already mentioned it, so I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. For those of you who are watching, if you're interested, you can click the link below and get her handout. Isn't that exciting? It's called Cloth Diapering 101. It is like truly the basics, y'all. But okay, go ahead. All right.
So in my handout, I don't focus on brands unless I like absolutely have to. I think I only mentioned like one or two brands in there, and they're actually not even diapers. They're just like diaper accessories. But the reason I don't mention brands is because there's a million gajillion diaper brands out there, especially if you factor in what they call like the China cheapies. So I don't even I know
I just found those, y'all.
I don't even go there on brands because I mean that is what makes it overwhelming, right? There's a gajillion of them. I go specifically by material.
Okay.
And when you take it and make it concise by material, then all of a sudden that gajillion number has come down to 10 or 7. So really you're looking at your main types of diapers, and that's going to be either all-in-ones, hybrid all-in-ones that are like you showed me earlier, where you've got an absorbency sewn in, but there's still a pocket, and so you can actually stuff more absorbency in. So that's a hybrid all-in-one. Exactly. And then so then you've got pockets where it's exactly like that, but it doesn't have the absorbency at all.
Yeah. So it would just be
stuff it in. It would just be the pocket. Yep. So you can do that. Then you've got like covers. So it's literally just the PUL, or the water resistant component. And then you can put that over literally anything. Clean t-shirts, receiving blankets, whatever. This cloth diapering thing does not have to be posh.
Those diaper pads that people give you that are like,
yes, you got 50 burp cloths that you ain't never used to burp a baby on. Use those for diapers, okay? Put it in the cover or in the pocket, and it's absorbent, And of course, there's PreFolds. Basically, it's like a 3-section rectangle where the middle of it is a bit thicker and the outside parts are a little thinner. And you can fold that into a diaper, or you can pad fold it into a thinner rectangle and just set it in your cover, and not worry about it. But then you use that as a diaper. Let's see. You've got what's called all-in-twos, which is kind of a fancy cover and insert situation. All-in-two is literally just a cover with a snap. So I have one here. So here's a cover. This is Buttons diapers. They have a snap on the inside there, on the bottom and on the top. So there's snaps in there, and you just snap in an insert in there, and it just stays still a bit better than just kind of bunching up and just laying in there. But just like the G diaper you were using a minute ago, where you just take that insert out, put in a clean one, as long as there's no poop on it, and you're good to go. So really, yeah, I mean, so I just covered at least half the brands of diapers in like 6 different styles, right?
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal. And then let's see what else you got. You have wool covers, you got fleece covers. Now, a lot of people like wool for overnight because it's very breathable. The baby's going to be in that diaper for like 12 hours, right? I'm kind of a lazy, I don't want to, I know you only have to wash it every now and then, and I know you only have to lanolize it every now and then, but when you get to that point, I don't want to do that. And so here's my best friend. This is a fleece cover, and it is not as absorbent as wool is, but it is very breathable. And because it's a synthetic material, it's not actual wool, you can throw this sucker right into the washing machine.
Yeah, we need things that go in the washing machine.
Yes, I love things that go in the washing machine. I don't really want to hand wash something if I don't have to. I will, but meh. Also, this one still has the pre-loved. I bought this pre-loved. This was somebody else's. I bought it pre-loved at my local cloth diaper and store. Still has a price tag on it. I'm gonna see if I can show it to you. This is the other reason why I like fleece instead of wool. Let's see. Can you see that?
Did I say $1.50?
That's $1.50, girl. So that, as compared to a brand new wool cover at anywhere from $20 to $40, I'm gonna do fleece every time. Okay.
Every time.
I'm gonna do it every time. No, you cannot, baby. Come back and watch a show, okay? You can have a seat.
See, we're real life mommies. I promise.
Crazies. But anywho, so you would put this cover, this fleece cover, on top of a fitted diaper. So a fitted diaper has, I'm gonna see if I can angle this down real quick. Fitted diaper has a contour to go all the way around baby. I always use an extra insert inside the fitted, and then it goes all the way around. Mine snap. You can get some that don't snap, and you use a thing called a snappy. That's just extra work, I think. I mean, it's whatever. If you want to use a snappy, use a snappy. But me personally,
the snappies are those things that almost look like the old school pins, right? But they're like long.
Yeah. So a snappy has like these little claws.
Yeah.
It looks like a Y. So it's a claw here, and then a claw on the bottom. And they basically hold on, and you can use that for PreFolds, or you can use that for fitteds that don't have snaps on them. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's personal preference. If that's what you want, you can definitely lower costs that way. A lot of times the reason why diapers are so expensive is because PUL is expensive and cam snaps are expensive. So all those little snaps that you use on the diapers, those are pretty expensive. So if you can find snapless things, that's gonna save you a little bit of money in the long run. So I mean, if you want to use snappies, buy, all you need is 2 snappies and a bunch of PreFolds, and you saved yourself even more money.
Right.
I just buy used all the time and strip them. That way I can get what I want. So there's that. But yes, I mean, I have just a slew of diapers here. I'm not going to go through all of them because I know you got some other questions for me. But yeah, I mean, like absorbent material. So there's basically 2 kinds. There's synthetic and there's natural. So synthetic is microfiber, microfleece, all of that. And that is, it has its pros and it has its cons. Synthetics dry faster, but they do not absorb as well as natural. They're not going to absorb as much as natural. They will absorb faster than natural. So it's nice to mix the 2. You can always do like a microfiber on top of a hemp. And then, so your microfiber is going to absorb fast and your hemp is going to absorb a lot. And that's a good nighttime mix for a lot of people. Your natural fibers are mostly going to be either cotton, bamboo, or hemp, or any blend of those. And that's basically it. I wouldn't focus too much on like, which one's better, Rumparoos or G diapers or, Bum Genius or whatever. Just figure out what materials you want and go from there. Right. It makes it way less overwhelming.
Right. And I definitely want to suggest to anybody, if you are thinking about cloth diapering, which I hope you are, if you are thinking about it, look it up and see if there's a store in your neighborhood. See if there's a lot of times your doulas and your midwives have connections to it, because it's all about that natural birthing process. It's all kind of mixed in there. Even your lactation consultants will sometimes know someone or know of a group. So I really want to encourage you guys, just reach out and touch somebody. Of course, you can always send me a message, and if I can help, I will. Or you can join a group on Facebook. That works too. Support is so changing, right? It used to have to be somebody you knew. Now it's just
now it's like I'm in this group on Facebook, and I'm sorry. Hold on for 2 seconds.
You're fine.
Little one. Oh no. My little one found the coconut oil.
We know what happens when babies find oils. They
Yes.
begin to lather themselves.
So, no, and well, it's actually quite funny. He found the coconut oil and my older son's leftover yogurt. So now they're mixed.
Won't be eating that one.
You know what? All right. Hop up. Hop up. I got to sit here. Come on, baby.
But yes. So another thing that I have learned this time is about cloth wipes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So not only do we spend all this money on diapers, but then we have to buy these darn wipes.
Yes.
And then they start becoming the wipe for everything. Like, have you ever seen somebody like, oh, you got a baby wipe? And you be like, do you know how much that costs? Like,
No, these is expensive.
Like
a paper towel.
Right. Let me go get you some tissue.
For real.
But I mean, I'm just saying, so for me, I totally like switched over to cloth wipes. I use regular baby wipes when we go out, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. We don't go out that much.
Yeah.
So like literally one little pack will last me 6 months almost.
Yeah.
But I use for our cloth wipes, I started using those really thin towels that people want to give you when you have a baby, you know, not the thick ones that are good to wash your baby with, the really thin ones. It's almost like
the super thin ones, and they kind of roll a little bit.
Yeah, they roll like as soon as you touch them, they start rolling up, and they usually come rolled up in like a pack of 4 or 5.
Yes.
And you can always find them at the dollar store. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. I started to use those now because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just, you know, we have it in a little cup next to the sink. Like, that's where it's in. We rinse it, we wipe baby, we rinse it, and we put it back in the cup. Like, that's it. But there's this whole easy way to take them on the go with you. Now, do you use cloth wipes?
Yes, I do. So
do you make a solution?
Watch out. No, I'm all the way dry until we need it, and then we just take it to the sink. That's one of the big boy things I get my 3-year-old to do, because he always wants to do something. He always needs a job, so I hand him a wipe, or I get him to get a wipe, and I tell him, get on the step stool, wet this in the sink, squeeze it out real good, bring it back to me. And that's a really good way to include older siblings, right, in the whole process, because older siblings it's kind of hard. They can get lost in the baby process. They oftentimes feel like maybe, don't get enough love, or, I'm being pushed out, or whatever the case may be. And that's one of those random little things that I do to include him. So we don't use a solution. I just have him wet it at the sink. And then, hold on. I know, baby. All right. Take that over. Watch your PJ Masks, okay? All right. Go. All right. Yes. So, of course, if I wasn't on camera, they wouldn't be studying me. But now.
They wouldn't want to talk to you at all.
But now, either way. So, yeah, we generally just use water. If I know that my son has pooped beforehand, I will, put a tiny little bit of just a tiny drop of baby soap in the wet wipe, just to make it easier to come up. Right. But otherwise, just water. We keep it simple. Right. I used to do a solution, and I used to keep them in a box. But if you don't use it right away, like if you don't use the pre-moistened wipes that you've made, they'll actually mold. And I ain't got time for that. So
right. I'd be the person to throw that away. Like,
right. You have to make only enough that you would use in that day. Now, I don't know about you, but one day I could use 3 wipes, and tomorrow I could use 50. So I never know which day that's going to be. So I just leave them dry.
And if they're not pooping, we can use the same wipe again.
Right. Rinse it out, put it back.
And if you're only breastfed pooping, that's still not really pooping.
Yeah. Rinse it out real good, put it back.
Right. So, I mean, and we're just trying to keep it real for you guys, because I know that a lot of people go, cloth diapering, like that's what grandma did. And it's like, when you think about it, a lot of the things that grandma did
was the best stuff.
They were good stuff. But some big corporation figured out how they could make money.
Yeah.
So then they introduced these things like formula and disposable diapers. And I'm not saying disposable diapers are not a lifesaver in certain situations.
They have their place.
They have their place. You can use them. I'm not hating. You know, some people use formula. I'm not telling you you're a bad parent. But I'm saying everything has its place. And if we just realize that a lot of that came from what we were doing naturally, and it's okay to go back to do some things.
It's okay. It's okay to do natural. I had an older friend who would say, so one of my, it was a family friend. One of my husband's family members would say, why are you feeding that baby formula? Didn't he come with his own food? And I mean, that's true. Like, unless you have supply issues, which, you know, a lot of moms do. I had supply issues with my first child. Hold on, multitasking over here. Gotta actually feed this guy. Anyway, so with my first child, he was born with cleft palate, and so he wasn't able to actually suck. So I pumped as much as I could, but because that hormone that is made or produced when you're breastfeeding, because that was really low, my supply was low. So we supplemented with formula, and that's okay, you know, but just outright choosing, you know what, I'm not going to breastfeed because that's gross and old fashioned. I got something against that. If that's how you feel, then it is what it is, but I got something against that.
Sometimes you just need to talk about it, right?
Right.
And I want to dispel this myth as well, because when my 6-year-old when he transitioned to somebody else watching him that wasn't family, people got so like, oh my gosh, are you going to send him to daycare with cloth diapers? And I mean, and guess what? They did it. And guess what? Nothing bad happened.
It's really not a big deal. We are so afraid, like, that cloth diapering is so unsanitary and it's so gross and blah, blah, blah. But it's so funny how prior to, because with my first child, you know, like I was telling you, you know, we cloth diapered both our children. But of course, we asked everybody, do not get us diapers. Do not get us disposable diapers. We are using cloth. And of course, you still get disposable diapers. It is what it is. And so we didn't want to waste them. But before I found out this life-saving hack that I'll tell you guys in a minute, we were just using the disposables on him. And, you know, young babies, when they are exclusively breastfed, they are going to explode. And it's like a ticking time bomb. You don't know what the timer is set to, right? Like, you can't actually see the clock ticking. You just hear it. Right. So you'll know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So I remember we were out somewhere. I don't know exactly where we were, but we were out of the house. We were not in a convenient situation. We were out of the house. My son pooped and it exploded and went up his back and in his hair and in his ears and all over his fingers. And you know, the baby fingernails is hard to clean. So
it's hard to cut.
Hard to clean, all of that. We wasn't in the house. So here I am with this literal poopy baby out of the house. So we run home, we take care of everything, we clean everything, blah, blah, blah. And that was enough to kind of convince my husband anyway, also, because like he was on the fence. He wanted to, but he was on the fence. But that was enough to convince him. He was like, nah, this ain't it. We can't do this ever again. So we went to our cloth, but I didn't want to waste the diapers, the disposable diapers. They had already been given to us. So what do we do, right? So we used them. I put a cover on top. if you just put a regular PUL cover on top of a disposable diaper and make sure the whole disposable is completely concealed in there, you will not have a blowout. You are not going to have a blowout. And we almost did. I saw him, I saw the ticking time bomb this time, and I knew it was going to happen. Obviously, you can't stop a kid from pooping. Gotta poop. So I was on the lookout, like, okay, it's going to happen, right? It happened. He had the cover on, and the entire inside of the diaper was just covered in poop. There was not a clean part on the diaper. The entire inside was covered, but not one drop of poop got out of that cover. So if you have to use disposables, still I advise, use a cover, because especially if you're worried about that mess, like, talk about unsanitary, right? Like,
that's nasty.
That's nasty. Like, at least my poop is contained. Whereas somebody using disposables, you have a poop explosion, your car seat is probably messy. Your child's clothes are ruined for life. You can't get breastfed stains out of clothes. I mean, you can, but
it's hard work.
It's all up in their hair. You got to literally throw your entire baby into the tub, So whole lot easier.
And I'm glad you hit on that, because I was going to say, for me, and I've heard multiple moms say this, some of the benefits of cloth diapering are the no blowouts that she just referred to. Also, the no need for diaper rash cream.
Yes.
Like, our kids are not experiencing diaper rash. Like, it's not I totally love this moment of normalizing breastfeeding. I just have to put that out there. But we're not having the diaper rash. I don't need the butt paste, I don't need none of that.
Right. Coconut oil is as much as we do.
Right.
I've got 2 boys. Both have been cloth diaper pretty much their entire lives. 1 3-year-old, 1 1-year-old. And we have not seen a rash ever.
Exactly.
We use coconut oil, and that's all we needed.
Exactly. So for any of you who are wondering, well, is it a benefit to my baby? There you go. No poop in the hair and no diaper rash.
Right.
These are your benefits. And we just got to keep it real like that, because we know as mothers, a lot of stuff sounds good, but when it comes down to it, we just want the nitty gritty truth. Like, okay, so how is this going to help me in my walk as a mom? How is this going to help my baby? Like, that's all we're looking for. And not to mention, recently I've been doing a little bit of work even about the chemicals that they put in disposable diapers to make them absorbent, which are very, very close to the chemicals put in women's menstrual pads, and just learning how many chemicals we're actually putting on our body.
Right.
Like, that's crazy to me. And if all I have to do is a load of laundry to stop the chemicals,
right,
I think I'll do a load of laundry.
It's only but so much that you can do. Like, you're gonna come across chemicals that you can't control, that you can't get out of your life. But the things that you can make a difference in, make that difference. I was so hurt. I'm not gonna say the brand name because I don't know how that works. But I was so upset when one of the natural brands of disposable diapers that I was gonna consider using, like on the out and about days or whatever, if I didn't know, they were dyeing their diapers to look natural. They were using like a light brown dye. Their diapers are light brown looking, so they look unbleached and natural and cute, and but they were dyeing them. So what's the point? How is this natural if you're putting dye in the diaper to basically lie to me and take my money? I don't have time. I don't have time for this.
So she just hit on something else that is like completely a passion of mine. All these products that say natural that are not like,
you still gotta read. You gotta do your own research. You gotta read.
You gotta read it. Like,
you cannot just trust what anybody tells you. Don't just trust what I'm telling you. Read, look it up, do your research, because people will fool you. I don't have no desire to fool you, but people will fool you.
Right. So before we wrap up and get out, I just want to ask you, now I know that you actually teach a course.
Yes.
On cloth diapering, which is where the handout came from. For those of you who are interested, click the link below. How did you decide to take this up as one of your missions?
Well, funny enough, it actually ended up being an accident. Okay. So remember I was telling you we have a local cloth diaper store. My friend took me there. Long story short, that store closed, another one opened, and a year later I got a job to work there, which was awesome. I get to take my children with me to work, which is unheard of in North Carolina.
It's unheard of all over the world.
It's unheard of all over the country. If you go to other countries, you see children at work all the time. I digress. So we go. I take my children to my job, and the name of the store is Grow Eco Baby. But
I followed them on Facebook.
That's where I work. So, well, anyways, one of the former employees used to teach cloth diapering 101. And she was going on vacation one week or whatever, and she realized this was the week for the class, and she needed someone to cover. And so, I had learned everything I needed to learn, and she said, this would be a good time for you to go ahead and teach it. So I was nervous, but I did it, and it actually turned out really well. And couple weeks later, it just became like handed to me, like, okay, you did so well, this could be yours. You can go ahead and just teach it, and that way it frees up time for the other employee, because she was a manager at the time. She didn't really have time to do that and manage and blah blah blah. So I took on a cloth diapering class. Shorten the story again, that particular, because it was another grow, and that particular grow had to close down. And so Grow Eco Baby is a new grow. It's just it was bought out.
Okay.
But before it was bought out, when previous grow closed, I assumed, like everybody else assumed, oh man, we done lost our cloth diaper store, dog, but I wanted to keep it going. So I took the class. I rewrote entirely the handout because it was a bit like difficult to follow. I wasn't the one that wrote the first one. So I rewrote the entire handout to make it a lot easier. Added on my own insight, added on my own research. So it's totally mine. And I just, taught by myself before the new one started up, because my whole passion is just getting more and more people to understand and to normalize cloth diapering, to make it what it used to be, make it better than what it used to be, really, but make it more mainstream too. Like, you want healthy children, this is another way.
Right.
And, so I took that class and I started teaching it by myself, and then a really, really enthusiastic customer contacted the old grow owner and said, hey, I don't want this to, fizzle out. What can I do? And so she bought Grow, and she made a brand new business out of it. And thankfully she took me on. And so now I offer my class at Grow. I also offer it at a local herbalist shop as well. So I just offer it as wherever I can put it, in as many people's hands as possible, just to make it more accessible. In my handout, I say, I'm going to demystify cloth diapering for you, because I don't want nobody to feel like this is something they can't do. We can do this. Just like, we always say, we can black women do breastfeed, right? Black men don't act like all of us use formula. We can breastfeed just like everybody else, right? We can cloth diaper too. We can do all these things, and I want to empower people to do that.
Yes, yes, yes. And talking about, the handout that you created, I mean, this has everything. Not only does she have the different styles of cloth diapers, she's got the accessories for those of you that like to get all the accessories, the bells and the whistles. She's got how to wash them properly, maintaining them. She's got even talks about diaper rental for newborns, because so many people buy these newborn diapers and like 2 days later they don't fit. I'm being extra, but basically. So there's rental companies that you can rent cloth diapers from.
I'll do a rental.
There you go. I've seen a surge of companies that do the cleaning for you, like the old cloth diapering service. I've seen a surge of that happening now as well. So you can get as bougie with this as you want to, and you can spend, if money is no object and you want to spend thousands of dollars and have all the pretty diapers with the pretty patterns, and that's what you want to do, you can do that. And I always tell people, like when you go take your baby's pictures, a cloth diaper is like the cutest little thing on your baby.
Like so much cuter.
So much cuter than
disposable you will ever come across.
Right. So you can do that, or you can do, on the cheap side where you just have a couple and you're just making it work. And
how cute is that?
That is so cute. So cute, y'all. And you can make it work, or you can do something in the middle. For like, I'm growing, so I use my G diaper still because that's my go-to. But now I'm starting to use the hybrid all-in-ones that have the pocket, like we talked about. And how cute is a diaper with emojis?
Oh, look at there. I love it. And so, here's the thing, even if you do end up spending $1,000 on your diaper stash, that is going to last you from 3 months on to 3 years. And within that time frame, if you calculate the amount of money that you or someone else spends on disposable diapering your child, it's easily still, even if you spend $1,000 on your cloth diaper stash, which is very expensive, over 3 years time, you're going to spend $5,000 to $6,000 on disposables. So, and then obviously it's trash at that point. You can't do anything with them. Your cloth diapers, you can sell those. Once you're done, you can sell them.
Save them for the next baby.
Or save them for the next baby. Whatever you need to do,
Whatever. Yes. And I was going to say, this one cost me $7.
Mm-hmm. Super, super cute.
Super expensive. I mean, super inexpensive. I think it's super cute. But, that's just me. Whatever. So, literally, like she was saying, it's all in how you want to do this. I promise you, I haven't spent $1,000 on cloth diapers ever in my life. I'm sort of mad that I waited 6 years to have this other baby because I had gotten rid of my cloth diapers, so I didn't have them anymore. I had that moment dang, man. But I promise you, and this time around, I think I have 5, and it's really because she's a girl. Mm-hmm. So, I like the colors, and, we need this one to match this outfit, and we do all these, cutesy things with them. Yeah. But, and I have, I use these for overnight. And that's what she was, some people switch it up. For nighttime, I use something different because I need more absorbency. Yep. I'm going to just put it out there, y'all. I am not one of those moms who is trying to get up in the middle of the night, make a bottle. I'm not trying to get up in the middle of the night and change a diaper.
Nope.
Look.
Unless it's a newborn, I'm not changing no diapers overnight, okay? If my baby is asleep, I am not waking him up to change him. That means he is comfortable, he is fine. And we have not had a diaper rash, okay? It has been 15 months. And after the first 3 months, because after about the first 3 months, they wake up at night anyway. They ain't sleeping, whatever, change the diaper. But after that, as long as the baby's comfortable and hasn't pooped, just let him sleep. You ain't getting no sleep anyway. Sleep.
This moment.
Sleep.
And I'm just telling you guys, I'm just keeping it real, and just putting this out there. I dream feed, so I'm not moving under any circumstance. I roll over. Like, that's the extent of what I do in the middle of the night, is rolling over. That's it. Yeah. So I just have to put that out there, because I know that there are so many moms who are just like, oh my gosh, and I've seen the pictures on Facebook. I'm sure you've seen them, where people have like these little boxes next to their bed talking about, this is how you make it through the night. No, let me tell you how you really make it through the night. You cloth diaper and your breastfeed. That's how you make it through the night.
You cloth diaper, you breastfeed, you co-sleep, okay? I mean, listen, I'm going to say this as respectfully as I possibly can, okay? Because for real. My husband actually does have a friend who, they co-slept and they did injure their child. These things happen, but they don't happen as often as other ways of injuring your child. If you're a sleep-deprived parent and you're formula feeding your child, and you wake up at 3 a.m. to sit in a chair, to take your child to a chair, sit down, warm up the bottle, and then give them the bottle, you're sleep deprived. You're probably going to do more harm to that child at 3 a.m. because you're probably going to fall asleep and drop that baby. I've heard of that happening way more than
overheating the bottle and burn
the baby. I've heard of those things way, way more than any type of issues with co-sleeping.
Right.
But of course, when co-sleeping, when you hear about it, especially in the news, it's going to be all the dangers associated. It's going to be, whatever. Co-sleep, okay? That is how we're naturally, like, you can just tell by your biology, this is what is supposed to happen. You're supposed to co-sleep. Your baby fits so perfectly in your cradle when you are laying down and they're laying down. This has to be the way it is.
Right. And so, I've co-slept 4 babies, y'all. Ain't nothing happening, none of them. I promise. Right. I'm co-sleeping now with my husband. I promise. And any of you guys who follow me, he's a big dude. He's a bodybuilder. He wakes up every time she moves. I'll be like, if you don't
go to sleep, right? But yeah, I mean, there's so much fear. Like, this country has just put so much fear in parents and like taken so much confidence away from parents, where we're told we don't know how to feed our children, so here, take this formula. You'll be so much happier. It'll be so much more convenient to disposable diaper this child. So here, take these disposable diapers. Don't have that extra load of laundry. We're told, oh, you have anxiety, so here, take this Zoloft. And now you're putting your baby at risk because you're on an antidepressant, and we don't think about those things. We don't think about how much control they're taking away from us as parents. These are we have natural innate abilities to take care of our children. Cloth diapering, breastfeeding, co-sleeping all happen to be part of our innate abilities. We know how to do it. We just have to have confidence. And unfortunately, society has just sucked all the confidence out of so many parents that you just rely on everybody doing the brainwashing and all this, it's a horrible vicious cycle, and I'm breaking it.
We are here to give you back some confidence. Yes. We are here to break the cycle, y'all. Yes. And I mean, even for me, like, this is a new one for me. So this is a new journey, and I talk about it a lot. I've always made my own baby food, but I did the purees before. So now we're doing baby led weaning, and we're just cooking the vegetable and giving it to her. And it's like, well, yeah, duh. Like, this makes sense. How did they do it before they had a blender?
Exactly. I mean, if it's a carrot, just cook it up a little bit more. Make it a little tiny bit softer.
Yeah.
The child has teeth. He has hands. He can pick it up and chew it. It's okay.
It's true. And I will tell you,
we're going to kill our children that we don't.
She totally enjoys eating the stuff that she can grab and smash and push in her mouth and all that make a mess stuff.
They gotta learn.
anything else, like, and she loves to be able to sit with us and eat while we're eating, and she really loves picking off our plate, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
we have always, we've basically fed our boys like birds when they were babies, like because they love to pick out of our plates, and they will literally climb up in your lap and suck the food out of your mouth. Like they will get my 15-month-old does it all the time. He will climb up in his daddy's lap, especially breakfast. For whatever reason, breakfast time is daddy. I need daddy's eggs. Okay. I need daddy's eggs, and I need them out of his mouth. So he goes and he climbs up on daddy's lap, and he goes and he eats it out of his mouth. Cutest thing. But it's really annoying, of course, when you're trying to eat and baby's snatching your food. But but yeah, that's what we do. But I mean, give the kid the food, give it to them whole. Let them learn. That's how they learn to eat, Otherwise.
And here's my PSA, no rice cereal. Anyway, that's my PSA for the day. But, whatever.
Stop putting that stuff in the bottles, y'all. Stop it. Please. Just don't put it in the bottle. Your doctor's going to tell you to put it in the bottle. Your grandma's going to tell you to put it in the bottle. Your uncle up the street going to tell you to put it in the bottle. Stop.
Babies aren't supposed to sleep 8 hours. They're not.
Not all the way through. They're going to wake up. They're going to eat. They're going to go back to sleep.
It's okay. It's normal.
That's what they do. It's called a circadian rhythm. And babies have to practice it to get it. But if you, literally rice cereal and other heavy grains, the reason that baby's knocked out for 8 hours is literally you put your child's digestive system into a coma state. Like that digestive system literally cannot process all of that all at once. And so it literally knocks the child out, because that is the only way the body would have enough energy to process that, as if the baby goes to sleep. That's not good. Come on. Let the baby have the rhythm that it's supposed to have, and eventually, over time, they will learn to sleep through the night. I promise you, in 10 years, you're going to be so angry at yourself, because not only did you miss those little moments, you miss those little tiny moments that now are annoying, but you look back on and be like, oh, my baby, but then, sorry, I jumped all over your PSA, but
Okay.
but yeah, it's just not like we set our children up for failure so many times based off the advice of well-to-do people. And that is so not a piece of good advice. Do not put rice cereal in the bottles. I don't care how many people have told you. Again, as we said at the beginning, do your research. Read.
And they actually have research telling you not to do it.
Yes. But the doctor, for whatever reason, your pediatrician going to still tell you, oh, just put a little rice cereal in that bottle. It'll be okay. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop.
But anyway. I have thoroughly enjoyed this time talking with you and getting to know you and your boys. We have covered like everything that I've ever wanted to cover. We've normalized breastfeeding. We've talked about cloth diapers. We've given out the PSAs about, the cereal and the cereal in the bottles and co-sleeping. Like, I feel like this is a wealth of information. So thank you so much. And again, anybody who's listening, if you are interested in cloth diapering, if you want that handout, just click the link. So you can get it. And of course, what state are you in?
I am in North Carolina.
So if you are in North Carolina, take this as your moment to look up. Is it Great Beginnings?
Great Beginnings Beyond Birth. That's my Facebook page. It's very, it's real small, real plain, but you can find me there. Great Beginnings Beyond Birth. I do offer cloth diaper rentals for the newborns. I will be also developing a one size rental package for people who are considering cloth diapering their bigger kids and they've never done it before and they want to do it. I'm in the process of developing that one as well. But yeah, if you're in the Triangle area, I do teach cloth diapering at Grow Eco Baby in Cary. Just look it up. It's also on Facebook. Just type in Grow Eco Baby, you'll find it. But yeah, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you and talking with you and introducing you to my boys and all that. Hope I didn't offend nobody. I'm real opinionated.
It's okay. I agree with you, so that's all that matters, right? It's Pink's world.
All right, then.
So that's all that matters. So again, I just want to encourage everybody, get the handout, learn about cloth diapering, check out some support in your local areas, and let's just do some things different. I'm also going to include some of my favorite Black-owned cloth diapers and my favorite Black diapers that I have come across as well. If you click the link, you'll see those too. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, for listening to us talk about cloth diapering. Hi, baby.
You say hi. You say hi.
You're like, no. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, I want to wish you all love, peace, and baby powder freshness. Mwah.